Today's Reddit story is about a dad who wonders if he's the a-hole for giving his son $15,000 for his wedding. I know weddings are expensive, but $15,000 sounds like it's a decent amount of money. But let's see if he's really the a-hole in this situation. It's from the subreddit, Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for giving my son $15,000 for his wedding, knowing it would not go down well with my daughter? My 50 male son, 29 male, is getting ready to marry his fiancée of 3 years. I know her and I very much approve of their marriage. She's awesome and I couldn't be prouder of my son. I told him that I'll help him pay for his wedding, and his mother and I managed to put together $15,000, which should help them have a pretty decent wedding. My son announced his wedding, and eventually my daughter, 27 female, found out from my son's fiance. She called me pretty irate since money has always been a sore spot between us. Around 10 years ago, my son went off for college and my daughter went shortly after. My son went to a local community college and later became a welder. My daughter was always more academically minded than him and got accepted to a pretty great school in New York for music. Problem is, my wife and I made too much money for her to get many grants or scholarships. I pay for my son's community college in full, but my daughter's college fund would basically only cover 1 year of tuition at the nice school, and I'll be out of pocket a little for room and board as well for that year. I told her that while I am so proud of her for getting into that school, I don't agree with her going to that school since we can't afford it. She didn't accept any alternative, such as going to a local school or going to a cheaper school in New York. She said that she was going regardless, so I relented. I paid the deposit and she went. I paid the bills until her fund, $50,000, was done. She then started taking out loans for school, even though I advised her against it. And she tried having me sign loans in my name to help pay for her education, which I did not, which didn't help our relationship. Our son got the rest of his payout in a bulk sum out of fairness. She graduated with about $150,000 in student loans. She worked for an orchestra for a while, but didn't make a lot, so she became a teacher in New York, but continued to struggle financially due to the burden of her loans. She frequently asked for money, which I stopped helping with 2 years ago. I once offered to have her move back home rent-free, but she doesn't want to move from New York to rural Florida. We cut her off financially. This has led to a frosty relationship with my daughter as she blames us for her woes, not taking loans for her and not helping more with her college costs. She even had a fiance break things off when he found out her loan burden, which she blamed us for. It all culminated with her calling in tears, blaming us for her financial condition, calling us terrible parents, and that since we obviously care for our son more, he'll be the only one we have contact with. We try to reassure her that we still love her so much and we make a similar contribution should she get married, but that didn't help her calm down. She hasn't returned our texts or calls in a while and we're pretty beat up about it. My wife especially is crying pretty often. Did I mess up? Am I the a-hole? I miss my baby girl. Now before I get to the comment section, my personal opinion on this is that the dad is being, to me, I think he's being fair. His son decided to go to community college and become a welder. He had $50,000 set aside for a college tuition for his son. He also set $50,000 aside for his daughter for a college fund too. His daughter decided to go to a very expensive music school and basically blew off $50,000 within that first year to to that college. Even though the dad says, you know what, I'm glad that you got in. He said that he was proud of the daughter of it. But what the OP has said is true. It was too expensive and they couldn't afford it. But the daughter still wanted to go. And being the good dad that the OP is, he still went for it. He still let her go and paid for it. So the fact that this OP's daughter is blaming OP, saying that they weren't good enough of a parent to her, is ridiculous. He paid $50,000 toward the tuition as a deposit for college, and then paid everything else out of his own pocket for her to continue her education there. When the money ran out, she decided to do a student loan. Now, I understand that sometimes you have to do it for the sake of your education. Like, you don't have a choice. I get that. But in this situation, OP's daughter had a choice. She had a choice to go to a cheaper school. She had a choice to maybe pick up part-time work or something, or some other way to finance her schooling, since she's the one who really wanted to go. And the OP already told the daughter that that's not a great idea to get a student loan, because he knows that it's going to become a hardship for her in the future. And it is. Look at her situation right now. She has $150,000 in student loan. She is stuck in this loan for a very long time. I know that. Because $150,000 is a lot of money. And the fact that like the daughter is blaming OP and his wife, saying that it's their fault that she's in this situation. No, you're the adult. You chose to go to an expensive school. You chose to take the student loan. You chose all of these things by yourself, even though OP has told you not to do it. You have no one else to blame but yourself. And the fact that like, I feel like she's very entitled. Like, you should be helping me. No, OP already did his share. He already gave his advice. And even though he did not agree with the daughter's, response or what she wanted, he still, being a good dad, still supported her in this whole thing. So, what? In this situation, I think it's completely fair for the OP to give $15,000 to his son for the wedding. Because from the sound of things, it sounds like OP spent a lot more than $15,000 on the daughter, just on her education. But let's see what the comment section have to say. So the first commenter says, info, how much money have you given your son in total? How much money have you given your daughter in total? Is $15,000 worth losing your relationship with your daughter? Probably forever. OP responds, 50,000K plus 15K for the wedding to son, 50K and about an average of 8 to 12K per year to my daughter for about 4 years when she was struggling with balancing her loans and her bills. I don't think it's worth it, but I don't think it would be fair to my son not to give him a wedding just because his sister threatened to cut us off. I'm trying my best to be as fair as I can, but I feel like I'm in a hard spot. You are kind of in a hard spot. You don't want to lose your relationship with your daughter, but from the sound of things, it sounds like your daughter only wants to contact you for money or for financial help or for her to just blame you for all her financial troubles, which is not true. She did it all on herself. So another commenter says, you've given her more than him. Does she know the amounts each have received? Have you laid it out to her? The commenter says, you're not the a-hole. So let's see. Another commenter says, daughter had so much more money than your son, so she has nothing to be angry with about you, except her unrealistic expectations that you can afford to send her to a school that was out of your price range. Hopefully this post will get the most comments and people will see your extra info. Yeah. Because a lot of the people in the comment section were wondering how much did the OP really give to both children. And since the OP does respond with the amounts, it's pretty clear that he's not the a-hole. A follow-up commenter says, your daughter's financial choices were hers and you can't be blamed for that. She needs to face the reality of her situation instead of redirecting her frustrations towards you. Exactly. I completely agree with this whole situation. Anyways, what do you guys think of this situation? Do you think that the OP is the a-hole in a situation where he's gifting $15,000 to his son for the wedding? Or do you think he's in the right that, like, his son does deserve the extra $15,000 for the wedding? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And remember, if you like these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.